We'll start right now with Coach Klinck, if you want to open it up with an opening statement, and then tell us who you brought with you today.
Yeah, hi, I'm Coach Bobby Klinck. I'm the head football coach at Charles Page High School, Sand Springs. We're just really excited to be here. It's been a process of getting to this stage. It's an unbelievable opportunity for our young men in our community that are huge football fans, and so we're just excited to represent, our kind of little slice of heaven in our small town just outside of Tulsa, and hopefully we can make our community proud. And I know we will with the types of individuals we have. So behind me, I've got our quarterback, Easton Webb, and I've also got our linebacker, Brock Odell, with us. So thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Coach Corbin.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it. Yeah, Jay Corbin, Choctaw High School. Appreciate OSSAA putting this on. I think it's a great way to showcase our kids and our talent across the state. It makes it very unique and an exciting experience for our kids. And couldn't be more excited to be here and so grateful for you guys covering and doing such a great job publicizing our kids and just showcasing all the talent across the state. So thank you guys so much. Behind me, I have our DB receiver, team captain, Dejon Green, and also our running back, Mayor Morgan, and also we brought our quarterback, Landon Gatson, as well.
Questions?
Coach Klinck, last 3 years you've run into Choctaw in the playoffs and it hasn't gone so well for you. How are you going to come away with a different outcome this time? And then Coach Corbin, along the same lines, you defeated them in the playoffs the last 3 years. What are you going to do to be able to come away with the fourth straight win? First, Coach Klinck.
Yeah, I already told Jake that I called his wife and told him to have his 4 kids just bug the heck out of him all week so we can't game plan very well. Now, it's not really a rivalry that beat us all the dang time, but I think our program, we've been getting closer and closer. I feel this is obviously the best football team we've had since I've been here. It's old hat for these guys, and having been here last year and been in the championship game multiple times. So I just think that our players are prepared. They're ready to go. They know what they're up against. Another great Choctaw football team, and we're just going to prepare as best we can and just see if we can get some breaks and see what happens on Friday.
Yeah, well, the 2025 teams have never met, right? So what happened in the past does not matter. It has no carryover. Coach Klinck and staff do a phenomenal job. Great players, very well coached, and this game will be its own unique year, own unique game, all those kind of things. So there's no carryover. I feel that Sand Springs has been the best team all year. Very deserving to be here, and it's no surprise to us that they're here. So a tremendous amount of respect for Coach and his staff, his players do a great job. And again, every year's a new year.
Hey Jake, you guys played such a classic game in that state championship game a year ago. I'm wondering, what did you learn from that experience? And like you said, I know that it's a different team, a different year, but what did you take away from that? What do you hope your players took away from that?
Yeah, I think that, anytime that you're, it really is, obviously there's always an outcome to anything. It's always someone wins, someone loses every night, but what I look at, especially as I get older as a coach, is just how do your kids respond to adversity, because it really is to prepare you for life. And we are in prep sports, and hopefully these guys, go on and do, a lot bigger and better things with their lives than just a football game. And so I think just a tremendous amount of respect I have for our players, and just, the culture that our coaches, are able to develop within our program for our kids. That's what I took away and what I was most proud. And even if, I told them after the game, if we would have fallen short, I'm still just as proud. Because again, you don't always win. That doesn't always happen. But it is how you respond to it. So, tremendous amount of pride for me and our kids, and just a lot of respect for them.
This is for the Choctaw players. With you guys going 9-4, how did your coach reset y'all and help y'all keep the main thing every week, even after losing those big games?
Yeah, we just have to go back, put our head down and work, man, and block out all the noise. You know, we never really pay attention to the outsiders because, you know, we're actually in it together. And that was really our mindset and mentality. Our coaches just telling us to keep our head down and work. And that's what we did, and that's why we're here right now.
It's never really a reset. It's always been a process. And I've never doubted my coaches, neither have my teammates. So we understood that we trusted their game plan and the process that they put us through, and we just needed to execute as a team.
For the coaches, Bobby, I don't know who does your scheduling here, but you started off with Owasso and Bixby. But I think you probably learned a lot from that because I think whenever you line up against anybody else the rest of the year, they might not look the same. Talk about scheduling that and how those two losses may have helped you get here today. And then, Coach Corbin, if you wouldn't mind, kind of alluded to it earlier, the defending state champion is off to a little start. I don't think you played a home game until November, it felt like. But just talk about the up and down of the start of the season.
Well, I'm the idiot who schedules those teams, but I do think, you know, I want our players to experience going against the best competition that I can give them, and to experience, you know, high-level football in front of big crowds and big events, to prepare us for, you know, hopefully getting to stages like this. So, you know, you know, talk to these players. You know, I challenged them after, you know, going 0-2 those first two games. You know, I know everyone expected us to lose, but, you know, we never had the mentality of we're going to compete and going in to win. And I challenged them saying, hey, we need to change our mentality. You know, we don't want to have a loser mentality. We want to have a winning mentality. And I think they took that. You know, maybe they were mad at me for a little bit, but it turned them into, you know, now the players were driving the team. So I'm just here now, just trying not to screw it up that these guys have accomplished so far. So hopefully I can stay out of the way this week.
Yeah, it's just, you know, again, it's not a juicy answer, but the process can't change. You know, I won a game. Okay, you know, go back to work. You know, we lost a game. Okay, go back to work. You know, it's you can't get too high, too low in this profession. You know, we have a million, you know, callbacks on our program like in elementary school. You know, and if I ask them right now, I say, so what? Now what? Next play. Right? Regardless. Okay. You know, hey, we just scored a touchdown. So what? Now what? Next play. Hey, we just gave up a touchdown. So what? Now what? Next play. We just lost a game, won a game. Same thing. Process can't change. You have to get back and go back to work, put shovel the dirt each and every day, right? And you know, and let the details work themselves out as you go. And I think what kind of gets lost in sports and life is anything is the process. You know, and hey, we lost in August. That has no bearing on this Friday, right? We won. Okay, no bearing, right? I mean, every game has life of its own. Every week has life of its own. So I think that, you know, that's why I love sports so much. I think that they simulate life. You know, whether you have something good going or bad, like you guys make sure you're doing your best each and every day, each and every play.
Over here.
This is for the players. I know all four of you guys are seniors. So one, obviously, how cool is it to be playing your last high school football game, your state championship game, and then two, and I know you guys don't want to get into the semantics of everything. Obviously, Sand Springs going for their first state championship in 50 years, and you guys going for back-to-back. Just when you think about all that and everything that comes into your last football game, again, I know you want to keep the main thing, but how cool is this experience, I guess you could say, for you guys?
No, it's truly a blessing and an honor to be able to be here again. I always think about the game, but I'm forever grateful to be where I am. Like, regardless, I'm grateful to even wake up this morning so to be able to play my last game and to be a state championship. I'm very honored and proud of my teammates to get us here.
Yeah, like Dejan said, it's just a blessing to be here, you know, especially with these seniors, underclassmen. You know, you go through all them years and you feel like you got forever. And now, you know, it's my last game. Just want to cherish it, man. So, like Dejan said, it's truly a blessing to be here.
Yeah, like they said, it is a blessing to be here, especially falling short 3 years in a row. To finally be here and compete for a state championship is a blessing.
You know, it means a lot to be able to put on this uniform one last time in front of the community and, you know, the biggest stage that you can play in high school football. You know, it means a whole lot to be able to go out there and perform.
Coach, just quick follow-up for both of you guys. It's the same thing. What have these two seniors meant to these programs? I know both of them are you guys as team captains for you guys. Just what have they meant to this program throughout the whole 4 years, and what has it been like to see them grow and heading into their final games as well for you guys?
Yeah, I think that, you're just lucky to have one more week with them. And regardless of the outcome, it's like, a lot of times in playoffs, you're just fighting to keep the team together. And obviously to do that, you have to win. But, you love them so much, you grow so close to them through, adversity and tough times and everything that we've been through together as a team. And obviously you know them as a lot more than players and have just respect for them as young men and know not only how talented they are on the football field, but also what great people they are. And it's just a blessing to be able to be around, our kids, these two behind me, and, Landon and our team and Coach is just that kind of camaraderie that you have. I talk about, you don't get that selling insurance. I don't get that, working in a cubicle. I get that getting to go to war with these guys and have an opportunity to go do something hard together. I cherish that. And, again, regardless of the outcome, this Friday, I'm going to be sad because I'm going to miss coaching these guys.
You hit it, Coach Corbin. I mean, it's relationships, and it's, once the season's over, you kind of sit in the office, and then those guys don't show up anymore. And it's a weird feeling. And you go through that every year. It's like losing kids. But, Brock, what an unbelievable process he's gotten to where he is now. I mean, he's played 3 different positions for us. Never complained, just family never complained towards me. They just stuck with it because they're Sandites through and through. And now he's here and having an unbelievable season. And then, what can you say about a 4-year starter like Easton Webb? Just everything he's done, the best quarterback statistically to ever come through our program. A kid in Northeast Oklahoma where kids are changing schools left and right, and he decided to stay here and to do this for his community, his town, his family. And in times where kids are jumping everywhere, it says a lot about this young man's character and what he means to this town. And I could say that about a bunch of kids in Sand Springs because it's a special community. Just in the west side of Tulsa, nothing but hardworking kids. So these two represent our town and our football program to the best.
And this is for Coach Corbin, but the quarterback just walked in, obviously had a huge game last week. Can you reflect just on how his senior season has gone?
Yeah, Landon Gatson, our quarterback, I think kind of exemplifies our team. He's a tough team-first guy, doesn't care who gets the credit for it. He's just cares about his teammates and just wants the ball in the end zone. However it gets there, we talk about, throw it, catch it, run it, fumble it, like doesn't matter, but it needs to get in the blue. He always finds a way to do that. He's a heart of a champion. All the guy does is win. And I talk about he has a rare gift that other kids don't have, and that's going to be a champion. And he just finds ways to get it done no matter what. For my argument, he's the toughest quarterback that I've been around, and just an absolute stud, a champion ever since the word.
Coach Klinck, you touched on Brock's versatility a little bit ago, but wow, what a secret weapon it's turned out that he's been with his ability to carry the ball. Talk a little bit about that and what that has meant for you in the playoffs.
Pretty big, right? Considering that, with a 2-point conversion, there was nothing else we were going to do. It was like, hey, we're going to put in this formation, we're going to try to go win the game. I wish I could say that, we've been having this for the past, 2 months, and we just wanted to unleash it then, but it's kind of been, just an organic type of deal. We put it in, and we were kind of talking about who do we need to have carry the football. And it's like, well, let's have the big, strong, fast linebacker carry it, right? And holy smokes, that first round, kid scores 4 touchdowns, and we're like, God, we're idiots here. So just for a guy like Brock, just Sandike through and through, just loves this football team, loves playing with his friends. It means everything to him, and you can see that in the way that he plays. It's just, it's incredible, and I'm just so glad that I get to be a part of it.
and Brock, just talk about your emotions over the last couple of weeks and being able to contribute as a ball carrier and then having that great moment last week in the last moments of the semifinals. Could you have ever imagined this?
No, but I give all my glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and none of this is possible without my O-line, Easton. Like, I'm not scoring on any of those plays if it's not for them, so that's really just it. It's not just about me, it's about everybody around me.
I just put real quick. Coach Klinck talked about it and Brock just talked about it, but Easton, the last play, you guys rallied from 21. It comes down to one play. You got to get in the end zone, and you've been so close over the years. It comes down to one play. Talk us through. Coach Klinck gives it to you. What goes through your mind that you're going to get into the end zone?
You know, in that point in the game, you are down by 20 points at half and just coming back. You know, nobody thinks you're going to make that comeback when you're down by that many points. And it gets to a certain scenario in your head where it's like you got to do anything to win when you get to that point. So it's not even something that you're thinking about. It's not something that goes on. It's just something that naturally happens whenever you see something like that.